Hello and welcome to your daily cricket show, Cricket Happenings, dear friends and subscribers. I'm extremely sorry that I could not do my daily cricket show yesterday due to some really some very big domestic commitments. But here I am back in full fervor, I would say, as I speak to you today on this cricket show. Let me tell you, dear friends, subscribers, if in one day in 365 days, if I don't do this show, you wouldn't know how pained I am. So unfortunately, it was the case. So let's leave it at that and let's get on with cricket. So, talking about cricket today, Afghanistan have won the T20 series against Bangladesh, and this is their second T20 series win over a full-fledged T20 team, official T20 team. They once did it to Zimbabwe, where they beat Zimbabwe in the T20 series, and today they have beaten Bangladesh in the T20 series by taking a winning 2-0 lead today in their second T20 against Bangladesh. They were chasing not a big total on a very not a very easy pitch to bat on, one could say, but Afghanistan saw to it that they crossed the finishing line, and they did it successfully as they won the match by 6 wickets against Bangladesh to take the honours. So Afghanistan, congratulations, they have won their second T20 series. As I said, the only team that they have beaten in the past is Zimbabwe. Now Bangladesh have become their second victim. So definitely this Afghanistan team is looking full of fire, according to me. And especially the damage was done by none other than the bowlers, the spin bowlers, the trio of Rashid Khan with his leg spin and googlies, Mujibur Rahman, the young 17-year-old who became the youngest player in the IPL to make a debut. Mujibur Rahman, who bowls all sorts of deliveries. He bowls the leg spinners, he bowls the off spinners. He has a great concoction of deliveries, and he can do some real tomfoolery with his deliveries there. So he's the other one, and the other one is the experienced hand of the right-arm offie, Mohammad Nabi. So both bowled 12 overs for 46 runs to throttle the Bangladesh right from the word go, and finally the outcome was in front. The Afghanistan knocked off the target with 7 balls remaining. Well, so I'll be definitely talking in detail about this match in definitely a match summary. And tomorrow we have as you know, Sri Lanka are touring West Indies, and tomorrow is the start of the first test match between Sri Lanka and West Indies, which I'll be previewing. And let me tell you, no Sri Lankan team under any captain has gone and beaten West Indies in a test series. So for Sri Lanka, this would be an historical moment if at all that happens in this test series. Well, so but first, as I said, we'll talk about the Afghanistan versus Bangladesh game. The toss, once again, the match was played at Dehradun, where Bangladesh won the toss and they decided that they would bat first. Well, they batted first and they were in immediate trouble. First, it was the bowling of Shapu Zadran, who did a wonderful job in the first T20, and he was the one who gave them, who really drew early blood for Afghanistan when he picked up the wicket of Liton Das, the opener, for just 1 run of 3 deliveries. Tamim Iqbal, who was dismissed cheaply, was the one who was the sort of a binding force for Bangladesh today, because he was the one who scored the highest score today. So he definitely learned his lessons, and he was a bit circumspect as well, but he was making sure that he was dealing with the spinners very well. Sabir Rahman joined him, but as I said, it was all about the spinners. Mujibur Rahman started it. Mujibur Rahman was simply splendid. If you look at his bowling figures, 4 overs, no maiden, none for 15, in which in these 24 balls, there were 15 dot balls. Shapur Zadran, as usual, like the previous T20, was a bit on the costlier side, but didn't matter because he picked up the most vital open wicket of opener Leighton Das. 1 for 42 his figures. Mohammad Nabi was simply metronomic. 4 overs no maiden, 2 for 19. Karim Jannat took 1 wicket, 4 overs 1 for 40. But Rashid Khan, 4 overs, he beat everybody. 4 overs for 12 runs and 4 wickets, including a scalp of 3 wickets in a space of probably in one particular over, when he dismissed the took the important wicket of the captain Shakib Al Hasan, Mossadegh Hussain, and I think it was, if I'm not wrong, it was the other person. It was Mossadegh Hussain that he took the wicket, and then in the next over he claimed Soumya Sarkar to have 4 wickets for 12 runs. So the Tamim Iqbal, as I said, was the highest scorer. He played with some semblance of respectability against the spinners, but definitely struggled, and it was Rashid Khan who actually clean bowled Tamim Iqbal for 43 runs of 48 balls with 5 fours. Sabir Rahman's contribution was 13 of 9 deliveries, 3 fours, becoming a victim of Mohammad Nabi, the right-arm offie. Mushfiqur Rahim tried to chance his arm against the bowling of the right-arm offie Mohammad Nabi, paid the price as he was stumped by Mohammad Shahzad behind the stumps for 22 of 18 deliveries, 1 4 and 1 6. Karim Jannat, he took the wicket of Mahmudullah, and that was a big wicket as well, when he bowled Mahmudullah for 14. Shakib Al Hasan actually came a bit lower down the order today, but that was the time Rashid Khan was getting into top gear. In one particular over, he forced Shakib Al Hasan to attempt a shot over the long on region, and he holed out to Najbullah Zadran for 3 of 7 deliveries. And also, Shakib Al Hasan was trying to pick up the tempo because after the score was 93 for 4, but Tamim Iqbal was still there at the center, but he was only out after. In fact, Tamim Iqbal tried his bet. He was out only after Shakib Al Hasan was gone. Soumya Sarkar was and in 1 over, Rashid Khan picked up 3 wickets. First, he picked up the big important wicket of Shakib Al Hasan and added the wickets of Soumya Sarkar and Mossadegh Hussain in consecutive deliveries. Not consecutive, in 1 over, he picked up all those 3 wickets as Shakib Al Hasan was gone for 3, Soumya Sarkar for 3, Mossadegh Hussain for naught. And finally, it was only a sort of a and the score read 108 for 8 in 18 overs when Soumya Sarkar was out with only 13 balls remaining. And in the balance 13 balls, Abu Haider did a good job. He lashed some 6s and he lashed an unbeaten 21 of 14 deliveries, 1 4 and 2 6s. Nazmul Islam was not out on 6 of 3 deliveries of 1 4, and they both actually managed to get the Bangladesh score to some score of 134 for 8 of their 20 overs. So essentially, it was a 26-run partnership that happened between Abu Haider and Nazmul Islam. And the bowling is something which I told you are the ones which really caused all the problems for the Bangladeshi batsmen. And what a spin combination here. Right-arm offie Mohammad Nabi, Mujibur Rahman, Rashid Khan. They totally throttled the Bangladeshi batting lineup and really sunk them to a low level at 134. Now, the target before them of 135, Mohammad Shahzad had a testing first over where he was beaten a couple of times. He was a bit scoreless as well. That was, I think, Nazmul Islam was the one who was the bowler, who was really Nazmul Islam today. One has to say, really impressed with the ball. He didn't pick up wickets, but if you look at his bowling figures, 4 overs, 2 maidens, none for 14. So Mohammad Shahzad and Usman Ghani opened the innings. And after that, Mohammad Shahzad, after that first over, started opening up. He had Shakib Al Hasan at the other end bowling. And Mohammad Shahzad opened up in his own manner of trying to hit the ball hard, which he did. And he got 24 runs of 18 deliveries, 4 fours and 1 6, before becoming a victim of the bowling of Abu Haider, who actually had him LBW. Usman Ghani's contribution was 21 of 31 deliveries, 1 4. But Samiullah Shenwari, we saw on the other day as well that what Samiullah Shenwari can do. These Afghanistan batsmen, and there was a spirit after Mohammad Shahzad's wicket. One saw there was a bit of scorelessness in the Afghanistan innings. There was not, the boundaries had dried up once Mohammad Shahzad was out of the mix, and it was only Usman Ghani and Samiullah Shenwari at the strike. But Samiullah Shenwari, after a brief moment, really took his time, but he really made up for all those scoreless moments as he started rattling along very nicely. He hit 3 sixes in a knock where he hit 3 sixes. He targeted the bowling of Mossadegh Hussain by hitting him, slamming him for 2 sixes. So Samiullah Shenwari contributing the highest score of 49 of 41 deliveries, 2 fours and 3 sixes before Mossadegh Hussain clean bowled him. And that was the 4th wicket. But before that, the captain Asghar Stanikzai was just out for 4 runs as he tried to force the pace, and Mushfiqur Rahim behind the stump stumped him for the bowling of Mossadegh Hussain. But Mohammad Nabi, 115 for 4 when Mohammad Nabi walked in. The other one was Shafiqullah. Shafiqullah did not face a ball as Mohammad Nabi garnered the strike and really went after the Bangladeshi bowlers. Did not want to wait. At 18 overs, it was 115 for 4. So basically, they needed another 20 runs. But Mohammad Nabi wasted no time in slamming the bowlers. He took them by the scruff of the neck and slammed an unbeaten 31. In fact, finished off with a signature shot, which was a nice 6 into the stands. He was not out on 31 of 15 deliveries, 3 fours and 2 sixes. Game over, 135 for 4 as game set and match to Afghanistan. As Afghanistan, as I said, are winning their second T20 series, and first was Zimbabwe, and today they beat Bangladesh. So they'll be very happy with this effort. And as far as the bowling was concerned, Nazmul Islam was a picture of economy today. What a bowling spell. In fact, he kept Mohammad Shahzad scoreless for quite some time in the opening over. So that was something which was very well done by Nazmul Islam. Stuck to a good line. 4 overs, 2 maidens, none for 14 for Nazmul Islam. Pick of the bowlers to me. Shakib Al Hassan, 4 overs, none for 37. Was very costly. Rubel Hussain was slammed for 38 runs of his 3.5 overs. 1 wicket for 38. Abu Heather, 3 overs, 1 for 14. Did his job well, I thought. Mahmudullah, 1 over for 9. And Mossadegh Hussain, 3 overs, 2 for 21. And Rashid Khan, for his wonderful bowling spell of picking up 4 wickets for 12 runs, took the man of the match or the player of the match award. So, as I said, with only one more match to come, the 3rd T20, which is a mere formality, all that Bangladesh can do is see to it that Afghanistan do not clean sweep them and probably salvage something by getting at least one win under the belt. Now that is something that we will know when the 3rd T20 happens. And so now let's get out from here, and let's talk about the start of the, as you know, Sri Lanka are touring West Indies. They're already there in the West Indies, and it's beginning, which is going to be the first test match between Sri Lanka and the West Indies, which is going to be played at Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago. And I can tell you that no Sri Lankan team under any captain has ever won a test series against the West Indies in West Indies. And this is something which would definitely be on the back of the mind of the Sri Lankans. But I'm afraid to say that one is they are playing West Indies at their home turf, and looking at the Sri Lankan team, I think their bowling resources are looking a bit depleted to me. So one wonders whether this Sri Lankan team bowling, according to me, the bowling is the one which probably worries me a bit. The batting is definitely in good hands. They have some very talented players, and the good news is that Angelo Matthews is there to strengthen this side, and Chandimal will be the captain, will be leading the side. So definitely now to me, if you look at the Sri Lankan side here, they will open up with Kushal Mendis. Mahela Udivate is making his comeback into the test team after a gap of 10 years, so it's too early to say anything. But Kushal Mendis, one knows what a wonderful talent he is. And then they have Kushal Pereira slotted in at number 1. Roshan Silva, who impressed last season by playing some very useful knocks, is there as at number 2. Then we have Dinesh Chandimal, the captain himself, who nowadays one has seen that Dinesh Chandimal does not play much aggressively. He seemed to have a sort of a measured approach to cricket. Angelo Matthews, as you know, he himself is the most experienced person in the team, who will add a lot of value to the team, no doubt. And he is someone who would be actually excelling in all the 3 departments of the game. And then they have the wicketkeeper Niroshan Dikwala, who is a sort of an unorthodox bat, but he can get some quick runs as well. And then they have Dilruwan Pereira, another all-rounder. Rangana Herath, one knows what a great war horse he has been for Sri Lanka. And if you look at the bowling, as I said, yes, they have Suranga Lakmal. The experience of Suranga Lakmal is a good test bowler, no doubt about it. But I have a feeling, and there is Lahiru Gamage too, but I have a feeling that they are lacking some real express pace bowlers here. And there's no Nuwan Pradeep, and Nuwan Pradeep, he plays a great role. There's no Lahiru Kumara, the pace bowler, young pace bowler, made his debut last season. So they are definitely lacking a bit of pace and to me, my worry would be that their pace department, pace and swing department is looking a bit depleted, with only 2 frontline bowlers. So one probably feels that Angelo Matthews have to bowl a lot of medium pace bowling and some medium pace swing bowling along with these blokes. So I have a feeling that Sri Lanka are a bit weak as far as the pace and swing department is concerned. Now let's have a look at the West Indies. So West Indies, well, they are playing on their home turf, and once again, Jason Holder will be the one who will be leading the side. He himself is a great example for the West Indies players, and West Indies have some solid openers right now in the form of Craig Brathwaite and Kieron Powell. And Kieron Powell is someone who can really stay at the crease for a long time. Craig Brathwaite is also, one has seen that he has also played some nice knocks last season, so they would be one who will be opening the innings. And Shimron Hetmyer has been is an under 19 World Cup guy who came into the West Indian team, and he did hit a sparkling 66 at the Basin Reserve in Wellington, where he really took the New Zealand crowd by a real surprise with his very wonderful batting, where he played some nice dismissive drives. He also played some imperious pull shots as well. And Shai Hope, as you know, is the rising cricketer for the West Indies, according to me. He's the sort of a real future for the West Indies. If at all there is one player, one batsman who is coming up, I would doff my cap to Shai Hope, because he's a very technically perfect player, and also he has already shown that against England with those back-to-back centuries as well. So Roston Chase is another one who has already done La Gary Sobers against India, as you know, by saving the test with his all-round exploits. And Roston Chase, to me, is another very good player in the West Indies camp. Shane Dowd is the wicketkeeper. He's also very good bat as well. He always contributes. Jason Holder, as I said, is another one who would be there for West Indies all the time. As I said, he leads by example. And then the bowling. If you look at the bowling from the West Indies compared to the Sri Lankans, I think there's lots of fire in this. They have Kemar Roach, they have Shannon Gabriel, who can really bowl some electric pace at times, and Miguel Cummins is also a wonderful pace bowler. And I think this trio, according to me, this West Indies team is looking much balanced than the Sri Lankans, according to me. So as I said, the Sri Lankans are looking weak in the pace bowling department. Other than that, I don't see anything. But all in all, I think it should be a great game of cricket coming up in the first Test match between West Indies and Sri Lanka. As I said, Sri Lanka, I doubt whether history would be made. As I was talking about Sri Lanka winning their first ever Test series, it just never happened. With the bowling resources being depleted, I definitely feel that Sri Lanka would have their hands full here. So basically, they really need to play very well to actually go and achieve something which has never been achieved in the past by Sri Lanka, of beating West Indies in a test series. Well, good luck to both the teams, and let's have some fine, entertaining cricket happening at the base at Port of Spain, Trinidad and Tobago, where the first test kicks off tomorrow. Other than that, the cricket news is that it's touted that Stephen Rhodes, who played a few tests for England, would provide. He's the director of Worcestershire Cricket as well, and he would be the one who would be manning the coaching role. As you know, Bangladesh are looking out for a coach, and he could be the head coach of the Bangladesh cricket team. Well, dear fans and subscribers, it's about time for me to sign off on this daily cricket show. So it's about time for me to say good night as well, but promising you that your host Ram will be back in business once again tomorrow on this daily cricket show. Until then, good night.